If my people will humble themselves and pray, I heal the land. I heal the land. If my people will humble themselves and pray, I heal the land. I'll heal the land. Y'all sing it. My people humble themselves and pray. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. Come on, sing with me. If my people will humble themselves and pray, I'll heal the land. Sometimes that land could be your circumstance or your situation. He's just waiting for you to humble yourself. And my people will humble themselves. Well, he is right now. I'll heal your land. Yeah. I'll heal your land. Come on, sing it from your heart. My people. So that's all you have to do is humble yourself. We've been trying to do it on our own. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. Well, y'all keep singing. If my people lift that up in mind, humble themselves and pray. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. Come on, that can be your circumstance. It can change today. If my people, it's in humility that he works. In humility that he turns your situation around. Sometimes we're looking at everybody but ourselves. But it's me standing in the need, right? Come on, self, yeah. That's all you got to do, and I'll heal your land. I dry your weeping eyes. For those that sow intention, reaping joy. Just humble yourself. Come on, y'all got to make that personal. Come on, lift your hands and speak to him. I heal the land. I'll heal this land. He's just waiting on us to get in the right position, because we humble ourselves. He'll heal our land. When you say, my people, come on, minister to yourself, minister to yourself. Come on, speak to him. Let him feel you right now, because his presence is here. I'll heal the land. Keep saying, if my people will humble yourself, I'll heal your land, yeah. I'll heal your land. Come on, Ayana, sing it for us. Our people.
If my people humble themselves and pray, I'll heal the land. Hallelujah. If my people would humble themselves and pray,
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on, let's keep worshiping. Hallelujah. He desires to heal the land. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Come on, lift your hands. Father, we glorify you. We honor you. We bless you. We glorify you. For there's none like you. There's none like you. There's none like you. There's none like you, Father. We bless your name. My people humble themselves and pray. I'll heal your land. I'll heal your land. If my people sing a song. Humble themselves and pray. Come on, anybody that just needs strength, they can come forward right now. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal. Everybody just need prayer and strength, you can come forward. If my people will humble themselves, come on, lift your hands and pray. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. If my people humble themselves and pray. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal your land. I'll heal the land. Come on, y'all keep saying. I strengthen her right now by your right here. It is. I strengthen you right now for the battle. For the battle. It is. I'm feeling transferring right now. Stay focused. Keep moving forward. For he in my hands. Thus said God, he's in my hands. We're just strengthening you for the battle right now. Stay focused. For this thing come upon you unaware. For this what it means to desire more of me. I have to trust you with this. Because it's going to draw you closer to me. I'm making you into a warrior. No more timidity, but I'm making you to a warrior, a proud warrior. I stir this gift up right now. I stir it up right now. The name of Jesus. Well, this too shall be a testimony. Trust in the Most High. Lean not to your own. Quit leaning to your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways. You shall receive the strength for each day. I see strength stored up for each day. Take it day by day. The strength stored up for each day. No. You're not weak. And you're not going to lose it. But this is going to take you to the next level. I see stored up strength for each day. Stored up strength in my people. Will humble themselves and pray. I'll heal the land. Come on, everybody else need prayer. I'll heal the land. My people, humble themselves and pray. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. If my people, sing that with me, lift your hands and sing that. Humble yourself. There you go, sing it. I'll heal your land. I'll heal your land. Hear the Most High say he hears you. Heard him say he heard you. Most High tell when he tell you he heard you. He heard you. He heard you. Don't think he ain't listening. Don't think he don't see. But he heard you. I see you like in the midst of decision making. Some decisions that you have to make. That you're faced with. Decision making. You ain't gonna make it on your own. He right there. He right there. He right there. He right there. Decision making. He gonna be decision making. Trust in him. Trust in him. Trust in him. Don't be afraid. Because he ain't gave you the spirit of fear. Hear what I'm saying? He ain't gave you the spirit of fear. He ain't gave you the spirit of fear. Trust in him. Make the decision in him. Because it's right there. He's here and see. And as you step, he's right there on the other side. He say, daughter of Zion, I'm right there with you. Every footstep you make. Don't be afraid to step forward. Don't be afraid to step forward because I'm right there out there. I'm right there on that water where it seems like you're afraid and calamity is all around and trying to torment your mind. No. It ain't going to talk. I rebuke the spirit of torment right now in the name of Jesus. I rebuke it right now and command it to loose of mine right now. Right now. Right now. I command you to loose right now in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. You will not torment her with worry no more. No, you will not torment her with worry no more. No. Hallelujah. For he hears you. I hear the land. I hear the land. If my people, humble themselves and pray. I hear the land. I hear the land. I hear the land. I hear the land. My people. Anybody cry that before? Humble themselves and pray. I hear the land. I hear the land. Come on, he's here right now. If you need prayer, he's here right now. He's here right now with my people. Come on, he's talking to you. Humble themselves and pray. He's talking to you. I'll heal your land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. If my people will humble themselves, and pray, I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. Come on, keep saying it. If my people will humble themselves and pray, I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. I'm hearing he had to change some of your desires to fulfill them. Some decisions that you have made for him shall be honored. Some decisions that you have made for him don't be honored. He ain't forgot that. I don't care. I don't care what it look like. I don't care what it look like, sis. What you gave up for him, he's seen it. He's seen it. He's seen it. He's seen it. I know it don't look like it, but he's seen it. He says, my eyes have behold your steadfastness. My eyes have behold what you gave up, because you could have had riches in one area. But he said, greater riches that I have for you. Greater riches that I have for you. Greater riches that I have for you. He heard you. I see your heart needs to be mended even greater. I don't know what happened. There's a disruption in your heart. It's stagnated. It's a disruption in your heart that's stagnated. But you've been fighting. You've been fighting. And today you're going to be made whole. Receive it right now. You're going to receive it right now. Receive it right now.
If my people who humble themselves and pray,
I'll heal the land.
I'll heal their land. I'll heal their land.
My people.
If my people
Humble themselves.
humble
Anybody else need prayer?
themselves and pray,
I'll heal the land.
I'll heal their land.
I'll heal the land.
I'll heal their land.
Hallelujah.
Let me get a brother. Let me get a brother.
Hallelujah. Oh, we bless you. Hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah.
Hearing Josh, I'm seeing misunderstood by your name. Seeing misunderstood. That's what I'm saying, misunderstood. Some mistakes that you made, you didn't mean to do, and I keep hearing misunderstood. Some things you didn't desire to do, they just happened, and you know you weren't in that place to do that, but I'm hearing misunderstood, because that one, your actions don't always line up with your heart. For you know what's right within you. Ah, yeah, he hear you, man. He hear you, he hear you, he hear you.
Hallelujah.
It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Yeah,
Hallelujah.
I can't move. You shall be the son that you desire to be. Hallelujah. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But I strengthen them right now by your spirit. That's the Lord. That's the Lord. Come pray for him and I'll strengthen him by your spirit.
Hallelujah.
He truly desires to please you. He truly desires to please you. He truly desires to please you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. But y'all don't stop thinking now. Don't stop thinking. Y'all got spirit in there moving. My people. Or whatever's on your heart. I'll heal the land. I'll heal the land. My people. Humble themselves
and pray.
I heal the land. I heal the land. If my people humble themselves
and pray, I'll heal the land.
I heal the land.
I'll heal the land.
Sister Ephraim. So you got I don't know if you've been seeking the Most High for a property, some type of property. But I heard the words, property gonna be put in your hands. Property gonna be put in your hands. I don't know what you've been seeking for, if that's even something that you desire. But I seen property by your name that's gonna get put in your hands. Hallelujah. That confirmation or that something?
Hallelujah.
I came here to look for something to say.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's the Most High. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I mean, the Most High say He pulled you away for a reason. I don't know what that means to you, but He pulled you away for a reason. That was all Him. That was all Him. A lot of folks don't understand, but that was Him that pulled you away because it's something He got to prepare you for. Something He got to prepare you for. There's things that you understand and things that you know, but you got to get prepared for what's in the future. So He got you on the backside of the mountain where people, yeah, it's been ridiculed, it's been talking, there's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but you can't let that affect you. Because you're going to be called. You're called to this thing. You hear what I'm saying? You called to this thing. And sometimes when you call, it separates you. It separates you because He want to know, are you going to give up everything for Him? If you're going to give up everything from Him, you hear what I'm saying? But you shall be rewarded for your decision. Mark this day, you're going to be rewarded for your decision because He's going to develop you spiritually first. And then He's going to start placing things in your hand and He's going to send people to you. But it was all Him. It was all Him. Believe that. Hallelujah. Is that confirmation? Hallelujah. I heal the land. If my people humble themselves
and pray,
I heal the land.
I'll heal the land.
I heal the land.
I'll heal the land.
If my people well, humble that right there. He ain't forgot about you. He ain't forgot about you. He ain't forgot about you. But what evil comes from the head gonna come down to the body. For y'all are one. So just as He grow in the spirit, you're growing in the spirit too.
That's right.
You're growing in the spirit too. For you had to get your mind in a place for a baby to be delivered. You had to get your mind in a place for a baby to be delivered, but now it's another baby in you. It's a spiritual baby that's in you. It's something in you got to be birthed out.
Hallelujah.
It's something, stand up. It's something you got to be birthed out. Something you got to be birthed out. Something you got to be birthed out. But just lift your hands and say you receive. It is going to be this overwhelming praise. It's going to hit your body. It's going to hit your body. Here it is right now. It is. I'm hearing the Most High say you have to, there you go, you got to yell it out. I'm saying you want to hear your voice. You want to hear your voice. I'm going to say hallelujah. You want to hear your voice. There it is. It's going to be something that scream it out. Scream it out. Scream it out. There you go. There you go. There you go. Scream it out. Hallelujah. That is happening right now. It's happening right now. We declare. Oh, you gotta keep, because it's His birthday. You gotta keep doing that. You gotta keep doing that. Good day. We declare. Cold as day, we declare. I'm in that inner chamber. Y'all stand up and lift your hand though. We in there right now. We're in the holies of holies. Where his spirit is at. Come on. Y'all gonna feel the spirit moving. We're in the holies of holies. Holies, holies. Come on, join my faith with your faith. Join my faith with your faith. Come on, sing some golden. We declare you are holy. You're holy, 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 holy. We declare you holy, golden, golden, holy, holy, holy. We declare you are holy. You're holy, holy, holy. We declare you are holy. He's holy, 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 holy. We declare you are cold as, cold as, we declare you are cold as. Holy, 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 we declare cold as, cold as, yeah. We declare you are cold as, yes, cold as. We declare you are cold as. Holy, 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 holy. We declare you are cold as. Cold as. Cold as. Hallelujah. Saying the Most High, I'm just going to show you what I'm saying. It's the Most High doing this right here. When they're right, you doing this, but he push. I'm saying that's what he's saying. He trying to push, and you trying to stay in a place of complacence. But it's got to be the year that you obey that push. Because there's stuff in this ministry that ain't going to be able to go forth until your voice be heard. Because he shows you things, but sometimes fear closes your mouth from speaking. Don't allow fears in your past to stop what he's taking you in the future, because the boldness going to hit you. Don't get used to yourself being the same. But your eyes is open. Your eyes is open. He shows you things. Sometimes in dreams where you're trying to understand. We're going to start giving you open visions where you have to speak to what's going on in the earth. Because you got that mantle upon you. But a boldness is going to hit you. And a pushing forward will hit you. Answer the call when he speaks. Answer the call when he speaks. Don't be so concerned about when it leaves your mouth. I see you being careful. Don't be so concerned about when it leaves your mouth, because it's all him. But he's going to push you forward. And he's going to, I hear, fulfill desires, fulfill desires, fulfill desires, fulfill desires. I don't know what you've been believing for, but I hear the desires going to be fulfilled. Get your hands busy, get your hands busy, get your hands busy in him. But I strengthen her confidence right now in the name of Yahushua. I strengthen her confidence that she be like never before. That she answer that call. Still see there's some little hurt still there. Still some hurt. Still some hurt. But you're going to mend it. You got to release. You got to release. You got to release. Release it fully to her. Release it fully to her. Father, we strengthen her right now. She may release this all the way up. She may be made completely whole. And fears that try to hit her mind and show her things to come that they won't happen. Just dedicate it to you. Even fears of even being around people that might try to keep her secluded. They won't not going to torment your mind. Trust him with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Lean not. It's okay to trust. It's okay to trust. I don't care how much you've been damaged. Y'all come up. It's okay to trust. It's okay to trust. It's okay to trust. It's okay to trust. Pour it out, yeah, yeah. Pour down, pour down. Yeah, 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 yeah. Father, we give you all glory, honor, and praise, for there's none like you. There's none like you, Father. Today we bless your name. We glorify you. As you minister to your people today, Father, we give you glory and honor for that, Father, for there's none like our King. None like you, Yahuwah! None like Yahuwah! None like Yahuwah! We have risen with healing in its wings. Healing in its wings. It's hovering. I ain't even got to lay hands on you. Come on, lift your hands to receive healing. And some of y'all need healing in your body. Healing in your body. Healing the fits is right here. Come on. Lift your hands and receive it from your Lord. For healing is hovering up in this place. Be healed and brokenhearted. He will give us beauty for ashes. The oil of joy for mourning. The coming of praise from the spirit of heaviness. Come on, let them hear your voice. 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 Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I keep hearing, if you let him in this season, he's going to heal you. Come on, this is the season where healing is in his wings. If you let him in, he's going to heal you. I don't care for what it is, even if it's some type of addiction or whatever it is. If you let him in, he gonna heal you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. If you can have your seat. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I just wanted to just share with the family that what we try to do, we're trying to get the presence of the Most High. This is His day. This is His set-apart day. We don't want to just walk in frustrated and walk in with all these things that we've been carrying all week. Sit down and expect to get ministered to. We're approaching the King of Kings. We're approaching our Elohim. And we have to come to Him in a certain way. We have to enter those gates with thanksgiving, into His courts of praise. We can't come in any kind of way that we want. So, no, we're not trying to appeal to your emotions. We're not trying to get you to just have a what we call in church a Holy Ghost good time. That is not the goal. Our goal is to prepare our minds, get our hearts ready for the move of the Most High, get our hearts ready to hear from Him. And we can't just roll up on Him any kind of way.
That's right.
We got to come humble. We got to have our hearts plowed up and tender before Him. So when we come in, this is how we want to come in. And we're not saying that it's always going to be the same, because the Most High is not going to allow us to get into any type of routine with Him. But we want our heart and our mind to be ready, to be transformed, to be forgiven, to be repentful, right? For the move of the Most High. This is His time. This is His day. We're here for Him and not us, not the other way around. Okay? Hallelujah.
Y'all give the Most High hand clap. Hallelujah. For what He's doing. And how He's bringing deliverance and healing to His people. Hallelujah. We're going to do two things. We're going to call Mother up to give us, whatever health or whatever's in your heart that you give. And you ain't got to be on health. Whatever's in your heart. All right, then we're gonna. But first, we're gonna call Brother. Spirit just led me to do it this way. We're gonna call Brother David P.F. Brother D.P. He's gonna give us some exaltation. And then Mother, and then the praise team will do 2 songs maybe. Okay. Hallelujah. Give him a hand clap as he comes.
As well, when we get put on the spot, we give out what's in us, right?
That's right.
That's why we pray, that's why we study.
Right.
So I can feel like the Most High was just kind of leading me to, first off, we give honor to our leadership, the ministers of this wonderful calling, this wonderful body that He has given us to, not only Morris, but Murray Josh and all the other Murrays located. We honor them and their wives, all our elders, our imams.
Yes.
We honor them. I give honor to my children, little J.R., little Izzy, and my namesakes. They're going to carry on this thing after I'm long gone. And last but not least, I just give honor and praise to my wonderful wife. Man, my wife is amazing. I tell her all the time, I'm everything with you, nothing without you. Because I can't do this by myself. I can't walk by myself. I can't, if it wasn't for her, I don't know where the encouragement would come from sometimes.
Awesome.
You need that. You need to have something that you can look at to keep you encouraged. That's really what Deborah was, right? Yeah. She kept the folks encouraged as they went on and fighting that battle and did what they had to do. That's what my wife is. She's an encourager. Whether she's speaking out of her mouth, but I can just look at her and see encouragement. Yeah. I'm tired. I don't want to get up and go to these folks' job on the Sabbath. But I look at her and say, you know what? Bills got to be paid. She's got to be taken care of. She's got to have a sense of security.
That's it.
So I'm getting up because she has encouraged me to go forth in my kingship and in my priesthood until the Most High changes things where I won't have to work on the Sabbath. Hallelujah. But just a little bit of a testimony of how the Most High is dealing. I believe He's dealing with His people in this season. The earlier part of, the latter part of last year, I was trying to figure out some things, exactly where He wants me to be, exactly what He wants me to do. and how he wants me to do it in my calling and in my purpose. We all have callings. Everybody can't sing, everybody can't minister the word, or everybody can't be delivered, everybody can't, lay hands and all that stuff. But in your lane, you can be effective if you find out what it is. So what the Most High led me to do, and I know this ain't nothing but the Most High, because he's showing us how much in control that he is. So what he did, he said, David, I want you to go 21 days off of straight juice and water. 21 days I want you to go off of straight juice and water. Y'all see this right here? That's quick. I've been eating for a long time, enjoying myself. So I didn't know how I was going to get through that. When he told me to do something like that, I put it back on him. You telling me to do it, you got to do it. It's nothing in me that can keep this charge which you've told me to do. So he began to show me, like, hey, I'm going to show you how much of me is in you.
Wow.
I'm going to show you how much of me is in you. So going into this thing, I ain't no prophet. I don't ever claim to be no prophet. But certain things he began to just speak to me. Speak to me, and I began to speak. And it was confirmations. It was confirmations that was coming past. Not only in my home, but in others' homes that I was speaking. I would get out in prayer. We've been getting taught that when you get into prayer, don't always be quick to speak. Don't always be quick to say, Father, I need this, Father, I need that. But ask him what's on his mind in prayer. And what he'll do is he has a need that needs to be met. So when he began to just pop off names, situations, I'll be like, man, that's amazing. Then I'll go and talk to Noah or somebody. I'll be like, man, Most High just all of a sudden just put this person in my spirit. Like, man, that's the Most High, because this person going through, they need it.
That's right.
They need your prayers.
That's right. That's right.
So in doing so, he began to do that. So first couple of days, he's like, I'm going to show you how much of me is in you. I can't drink the juice. We spend all this money on juice and stuff, and somehow the juice is making me nauseous.
Wow.
The smell of it is making me nauseous. So I had to force myself, okay, I'm just going to chug this. And I was doing just one a day. Just one a day. So once I was like, I'm going to show you, I'm showing you something. So it got to the point where I couldn't even do that. So now this is me, I've never done this before. The last 5 days, I've had no food, no juice, just straight water. Straight water and food. And I can see the Most High doing stuff. I write music, I was in prayer one day, matter of fact, Thursday I was in prayer. And the Most High just gave me a song off the bat. Boom. Gave me a whole song. Like, I'm going to show you what this does. What this does. Your commitment to me is showing you how much I'm going to give to you. Because we only get blessed in obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice, right? So in obeying, he's showing me, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do in you. This is what I want to do through you. And he gave me a specific word to speak to my wife. And right after he gave it to me in prayer, she called. I'm talking about right after she called.
Wow.
Not even a minute after she called. And I was like, man, yeah, Most High told me to tell you this. And she had work, but she almost started to cry at work. You can hear it through the phone. Because it's like confirmation of things.
Yeah.
So don't be scared, because he's going to start pushing us all out.
That's right.
The more we avail ourselves, the more we avail ourselves, he's going to start pushing us out. Pushing us out, because there's people that need that.
That's right.
In a service like this, we all need to be edified in a service like this. But if your mind is not on edifying the Most High, you won't be edified. If your mind is not on worshiping the Most High, like I used to say, don't be lazy in your praise.
That's right.
Because you have to have an acceptable offer to bring in here every time you come. And your offering is what? your praise to the Most High, your worship to the Most High. And that has to be acceptable in His sight. If not, He's going to cast off your sacrifice.
That's right.
And it'll be null and void. But I just encourage all of us to continue just to press forward, whatever the Most High leads you to do. Don't have sacrificial moments. Live a sacrificial lifestyle. He can always lead us. He can always lead us on the way. You know, one more thing, and right before I go, He'll show us different ways that we need to minister to people. Even on your jobs, you're wondering how to win people, but sometimes we can go out there gung-ho with knowledge and with information. That's not the way to do it. The Most High will set up times that He will give you just to talk with somebody. You know, this lady I work with, she's Muslim. And she had a nice head wrap on. I was like, man, that's a nice head wrap. You know, my wife wears head wrap. She's like, oh, is she Muslim? Like, no, I'm Muslim. I said, Israelites. She's like, Israelites, what's that? I said, we're Israelites. We follow Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We believe in the Old Testament. We believe in the book as a harmonious whole. We believe in the Shia. So we began to talk. And the Most High had just dropped two things in my spirit. One, we were just, she was just talking. You know, sometimes when people want something, they're going to keep reaching. They're going to keep reaching. And she was going to say, somebody going, go ahead. All praise to the Most High. No, but this lady began to keep reaching out for information. So I began to just kind of show her some things about, you know, what she believes in, because, you know, we want to be able to win people but not offend people. So I was like, you guys believe in the Old Testament, you know, the old patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, sacrificial laws of Moses. They're like, yeah, we believe in it. I said, okay, if you still believe in, you know, Moses and the sacrificial law, but you don't believe the Most High had any sons. You don't believe that Allah had any sons. You don't believe that there was no perfect sacrifice for our sin. So I asked her, so do you have an altar in the back of your house? Do you still sacrifice animals? Do you have some kind of place where you can sacrifice every time you sin to have atonement for your sin? And she was like, no, we don't have to do that. I said, if you don't have to do that anymore, I said, do you still mess up in life? She was like, yeah, I mess up all the time. I said, well, you don't have nothing for your sins to cover you, to atone your sin.
That's right.
I was like, so where are you? You have no freedom. I said, you have no freedom in where you're at. She was like, I never thought about it that way. Then she says, well, we pray 5 times a day. And we have to wash our hands and get clean. I said, okay, if you're in this hospital and somebody needs healing, do you say, wait a minute, it's not the time to pray? I only get 5 times a day, or I gotta go wash my hands? I said, you see where the bondage is? There's a bondage in that. There's no freedom, there's no real power in that. Because if I have power, I can execute power anywhere I go, at any time. If I'm Superman, I'm not just Superman on the weekends. Because people need help all throughout the week, right? So when I'm called upon, I want to be able to have an answer. Not only an answer, but power. The second thing I threw at her, I said, you know what? I just heard, something I heard was supposed to research, but I forgot about it. I said, you know what? I said, I heard something about in y'all scriptures in the Quran that it talks about a husband and wife, but it says that if a wife is acting contrary to what the husband is saying, he can reject her. And if she continues to act contrary, he can beat her. And her head just dropped. Her head dropped. She was like, that's true. And I was like, that's dangerous. And then that, because you can feel, from when she did that, you can feel the hurt. You can feel the void. You can feel the insecurity. You can feel where she wasn't being loved. So I just began to explain to her. I said, when you start to do that for a man, it gives him a God complex. Because we know the Most High is long suffering. We know that He's going to allow us to have patience. And in our marriages, He's going to allow us to love people that don't always meet the condition. That's called unconditional love. And so when I love you through your weaknesses, that grows our love and strengthens our love. But if I can reject you at the first sign of I don't want to deal with you, it leaves space for everything else to come in. It leaves space for men to have multiple wives and stuff like that, because it feels like I don't have to deal with this woman according to knowledge. So that's the danger. That's the danger in that. So in doing that, she would just, we just talked, and she was like, you know what? I really respect how you didn't come at me telling me what I believe is wrong, or coming at me telling me I'm going to hell. She's like, does Christians do that? And I was like, well, I'm not a Christian. I told you I was an Israelite. So I told her I loved her, and I was going to pray for her. So, but that's what we have to do, man. The Most High is just doing something different at this time. Some stuff we may not understand, we've never seen before. We come out of different circles. We come out of church. We come out of being atheists, or we come out of just being flat out crazy. So it's a process of stuff that we see that may be new. We can say, you know what, Most High, you drive me. I trust you. I know you care about me. You won't lead me astray. So you give me understanding. Give me understanding of what's going on. Give me understanding of my moral. Give me understanding how to be an asset to a ministry and not a liability. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Great words of edification. Just throw them out there, y'all. Just throw it, man. I need you to get there and say something. You gotta always be ready, man. That's why it's good. You gotta be studying your word. That word gotta be inside you. But you don't know when I might snatch you. Hallelujah. So we're going to do the health session or whatever's on Mother Heart. We'll bring Mother and Goldie up. Hallelujah. I'll give her a hand clap as she comes.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. I think I have to touch on this cold or flu that's been going around. Has it touched any of you?
Oh, yeah.
It's touched a lot of us, hasn't it? Yeah. We really don't know what it is, do we? We don't know what's out there, we don't know what's in the air, but we know what time it is, don't we? So we need to prepare. And I think this is a good opportunity, because some of us were not all the way down. And that may be because our immune system was already compromised. Okay, so this is a good time for us to start building it back up. And keep it up, because the best medicine is preventative medicine. And what is preventative medicine? Food. That's our medicine. The Most High gave us what to eat. And then man came and gave us another food. That other food tastes so nice to the taste buds. Yeah, but for those that are still recovering, I was talking to someone this morning, and I was telling her some things to take to kind of burn out the residue of what's left. And then I was telling her she has to build up her immune system. So how do we build up our immune system? Can somebody know? Exercise is good. Exercise is very good. Yes. Anything else? Vitamin C. Yes. What else? Yes. Yes. Praising, yes.
Fasting.
Fasting.
It said you fast for 3 days, it will boost the total immune system.
It really does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Especially if it's a water fast. Just plain water. Yes, that's very good. Some people are not able to do that though. Some people can. You can also do a juice fast, which is also very good. But the things somebody said, vitamin C, that's good. Zinc is really good in building the immune system. Now, where do we get vitamin C?
Fruits.
It's the first thing we think of.
Oranges.
Yeah, citrus, yes, and other things. We need beta carotene. That's something that's also very good that we need to build our immune system. Where do we get beta carotene? Carrots. Carrots. Behind beta carotene, anything else? Usually the bright colored things like peppers, things like that. Zinc we get from things like salmon, sunflower seeds, mushrooms. If we eat the colors the different colors. There's a reason why we consider them. Everyone has a different component that we need to strengthen our bodies. Eat as raw as we can. If we do cook, don't boil it and then throw the water away because we're throwing away a lot of the nutrients. If you're going to boil it, at least drink the water. You can do a soup like that. Another thing is, as I was driving here today, I was sitting next to a young lady. She was in the driving seat. She was getting so frustrated by the drivers because she was a little bit late. So I said, you know what I'm going to talk about today? I said, I'm going to talk about stress. Stress is a killer. And the system is set up to keep us stressed. Yeah. So we have to take measures to de-stress. Now my brother tells me that television is what de-stresses him. I don't know if that's the right type of You have to take time to be by yourself. And I'm one of those people, I tighten up real quick and I don't even know I'm tense until I let go. Then I realize, and then sometimes I'm back up again. So you have to take time to de-stress yourself. And each of us have to find out which is the best way for them. Because we're all different. Even if the two of us come down with a cold, it may take more of one component to bring me back and a different component to bring you back. So you have to learn your body. Listen to it, what it's saying to you, what it's speaking to you. But certain things in general we know we need water, lots and lots of water. Now we Kool-Aid it. Plain water. And we need all the different vegetables, the different fruits. Cut out sugars. Sugar paralyzes your immune system. To the extent that you take it, that's the extent that it paralyzes your system. It's a killer. If you're going to use it, use the raw honey, like I always say. Use that. And even that you gotta be. It's sugar is sugar. If you have diabetes, the diabetes, you say, oh, well, that's a different sugar kind. No, we use it. Okay? Now, stress. How do we de-stress? Can somebody tell me that? What's a good way?
Meditation.
Meditation, yes. So the young man said exercise. Exercise is very good in relieving stress. That's something we really don't do a lot of. You know, we think of exercise, we think of going to the gym. You don't always have to go to the gym. You can stand on the spot. I think Brother Tom could probably tell us some things to do for exercise. Yeah. You can say jumping jacks in your house, skipping rope. You can do it right there. I don't think you don't have to have a treadmill. You know, you do what you can with what you have. Okay? And sleep. Oh, that is so important. Sleep. And that's one of the areas that a lot of us are fighting with. Sleep. Yeah. You agree? Yeah. And there's so much around. Now, the room that you sleep in, if you look around, how many things you got plugged in there? All that radiation. Then we got these smart meters that we just took and put in our homes. All that is bombarding our system all the time. And some of us sleep with light. That's one of the worst things to do. Because it tricks your body. Your body doesn't know it's nighttime. It doesn't make and release melatonin, which is what we need to sleep. So all these different things I'm telling you so that you could just start to build up. Because a lot of us stop eating when we were sick. But then as soon as we get back feeling a little bit good, we go back to the same old food. We don't need to do that, especially in this day and age that we're living in. Because we don't know what is in the air. You know, I was driving one day and I called myself, I said, look outside. And you see, I mean, chemtrails, it was all over, zigzag all over. It was after the masters. And he said something to me, he said what they do before the masters, they do that to get the weather to behave in a certain way. And then after, they go back and they like, you know, yeah. And we're inhaling, we're consuming all of this. So we have to consciously do the things we need to do to build our system. And that's basically what happened today.
Hallelujah. Sorry, y'all. Get this together. Sharon had to help me out. Okay. I got it. Hallelujah. What we're going to do. What time? Okay, we're going to do a song, kind of get you back up and loose. Hallelujah. And then we're going to go straight on into the word. If I can get the word up there. There we go, there we go. All right, so let's call the praise team on up. There's a selection or two. Be done. Shalom, Brother Andrew, that stepped down here. What's up, King? Good to see you, man. come to lift you up. We come to lift you up. We come to lift you up. We come to lift you up. Hey! So we come to lift you up. 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 Say, lift you up. Lift you up. Lift you up. Say higher. 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 What do you say? Say higher. Somebody better come get her because she's going to be up here with me all day. Get that water over there. All right, come. I'm going to try to get you through this. Hope that you was edified last week on the message of the mantle. And we're going to continue that on. That's all right? All right, so we got a lot to cover, but talk about some things. We're going to let the Ruach have his way, but he already done had it. We're just going to put a little icing on the cake. All right, so we've been speaking of mantles. The mantle of a oracle, sign, and the calling from heaven to earth. Say the mantle of the oracle, the sign, and the calling from heaven to earth. Say we're going to call sometime. We're going to shift some atmosphere. All right, all right. Now, from last week, can somebody tell me what a mantle is, or just the idea of it? That you can't tell. Anybody? Go ahead.
The spirit of your calling, or what you been mission to do.
That's good. That's good. Anybody else want to add on to it? Remember we were saying, what's the mantle that's in us coming where? The mantle that's what? Coming where? The mantle that's what? Coming where? All right. Now let's look at that real quick. Let's review that real quick. I ain't got that up there, but somebody get Isaiah 59. Starting at 21. Yeah, we're going to keep moving. When you have it, if you got it first, go ahead and start reading. Isaiah 59, starting at verse 20. Anybody got it?
Isaiah
All right.
chapter 59.
Read it with spirit.
Starting at verse number 1, sir.
No, 20.
Oh, starting at 20.
At 20.
I'm sorry. At 20. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob.
So a Redeemer gonna come to Zion, right? And he's gonna be looking for those that are gonna do what? Turn from what? A Redeemer coming to Zion, like your hour of visitation where he's coming to you. And he always watching our life to see where we at. To see, are we gonna turn away from transgressions? A Redeemer, if he show up at your door, will he find you have to conquer that thing? We said we want mantles to fall down, and we want to walk in the anointing and walk in power. But if he come at your door, the Redeemer, will he find you without transgression? Keep reading.
Turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahuwah. As for me, this is my covenant with them.
Now, you have to pay attention when the Most High says. Because what mind are we trying to get back?
Ancient mind.
What mind are we trying to get back?
Ancient
Because
mind.
we've been raised in a Western mind with a Western mentality. We have an American way of thinking that's far removed from the scriptures. This is why you have to go back and study and get your ancient mind. When Yahushua said that, what? This mind be in you. That was also in Dude. So now we have to go back and look at all the things that we've seen before because we might have had the wrong perception of it. Because we're looking at it from a political, democratic, American point of view. Because we weren't raised in a kingdom. So don't be so prideful to say, I was wrong. Yeah. I was wrong on that. Thought I had it right. Thought everything was good and found out that I was wrong. If you really are humble in the Most High, you're going to have a lot of those weaknesses. You kind of, okay, man, I thought that meant that bad. That ain't mean that right there. So hold up, that's what he's going to keep revealing and revealing to you. But if you keep a mindset that you don't have to be revealed, some stuff revealed, you already know, then what you have, he's going to take away. And all you're going to be able to hold on is to the whole way he used to move in your life when he's a Elohim without mention. Keep going.
As for me, this is my covenant with them.
Listen. When he say this, listen. Covenant, keep going.
Saith Yahuwah.
Yeah.
My spirit that is upon thee.
Whoa. My spirit that is upon thee. Read it.
My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth.
So I'm going to place my spirit upon you, and I'm going to put my words in you. You're going to find out today you ain't nothing but a word that is housed with a body.
That's right.
When he say he watch over his word performing, he ain't talking about letters. You can't perform words. Yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But watch this. Keep going.
Nor out of the mouth of thy seed.
So he said the same word, the spirit that I put up on you, I'm going to put up on your seed. That's why you don't have to be worried about your children. Don't worry about them. They're going to be all right. They're going to get it. You see me doing this. My parents was worried about me one time. I was out there drinking, cussing, clubbing, fighting, all the above. They were looking at me crazy. They're like, you know you wasn't raised like that. But I had to do what? Find my way, man. Look at me now. Because what? The word that he put in my heart, he had a covenant with him. He said, I'm going to put this same word in your seed. Not just your seed, but your seed's seed.
Yes, sir.
This is my covenant to you. I can't lie. But you have to be in what? Turn away from what? You can't say you got the word upon you if you're still comfortable in transgression. Keep reading.
Nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahuwah, from henceforth and forever.
So another way to look at this is the word that he put in the prophet's mouth, our ancestors' mouth, is going to come down to who? Us. So we're going to have their same mantle, right? We're going to be able to function in the mantle of Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, the mantle of Deborah, the mantle of Huldah, the mantle of these different patriarchs in the faith. The same word that he put in their mouth, he's going to put in what? The descendants, which is who? Do you believe you're one? Do you believe you're a descendant? That means you got a word in your DNA that everybody ain't got that. We're going to get there in a minute too. All right, let's go. All right, so I want to rewind it. That was real short of that. Now, the mantle of being an oracle, everybody have heard of an oracle?
Yes.
What is it? From your just layman's whatever.
A person who can be considered a prophet because they know the future. Or they have glimpses or dreams of the future.
That's good. That's one definition. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? Because it's in the scripture too. The words. Keep going.
Oh, it's the words of the Most High.
The words of the Most High. That's good. Go ahead.
It's like a manifestation of prophecies.
Oh, that's a great way to say it. Y'all hit that prophet, words, manifestation of prophecy. That's all good. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to move kind of fast. Y'all let me know. All right, so we're going to get to what mantle is in a minute. But what I got to show you is, first of all, the Most High never moves off his throne. He always sends people to do his work. Have he came down and did anything in the earth?
No.
He has always just sat his throne and did what? Sent what? Messengers, people. Things to get his job done, right? Things to get his job done, spirit, right? This is why it can be said that nobody have ever heard the Most High voice or ever seen him. But the scripture showing us that he came down during the Tower of Babel. And say Moses talked to him face to face. How we going to reconcile that? Come on, y'all talk back to me now. How we going to reconcile that, class?
The Messiah said, if you see me, you see the Father.
Ah! The Messiah said what?
You see me, you see the
If you seen me, then you seen what? The perfect demonstration of who? Because I come in his what? Name or image. So what does it mean from an ancient perspective to be made in his image or to image someone?
do what they do and live like they live. To do as they do or live as they live.
Well, you've been looking to that thing. All your answers right. To do what they do. That means you ain't just got his characteristics. It's like when you see your reflection in the mirror, your reflection can't do different than what you're doing. So when you're looking at yourself, if you raise your hand, your reflection gonna raise its hand. If you roll your neck, your reflection gonna. And from an ancient perspective, to be in the image of somebody is to walk as they walked. To have the same footprint that they have. Now, I said that to get you to this point because we got to get to the road. I'm going to move fast now. Keep in mind that when the Most High sends somebody, they speak as him. They don't come with their own words. That's what it means to be an ambassador. You speak as you speaking as the Most High. And I'm going to show you this. Because this is what it means is going to mean to be his oracles. Because we're going to enter into a time that the Most High going to put words in our spirit and we're going to speak to government officials. Yeah, y'all don't do that because we've been domesticated. Yeah. We think we just little animals in the cage, little lions. We done lost our roar. And we wait on master to give us some red meat so we can perform. When I say stuff like that, we just be looking like, me? Because if I say Obama, I'll be like, oh, Obama, nice to see you. The only thing we might say something to is Trump, because everybody got some words. And they ain't all holy. I got a few things. Oh, I'm on camera. Just be in my door. All right, Genesis 31. Now, notice, watch this. And the angel of Elohim spoke unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob, and I said, here I am. So who spoke? Verse 12, and he said, lift up now thy eyes and see all the rams which leap up on the cattle and restrain the speck on the grizzle, and I have seen all of Laban doeth unto thee. Watch the angel said, I am God of who? Mantle. Well, who was speaking? But the angel said he is who? But when he entered this realm, he's speaking as the who? When thou knowest the pillar, when thou vowest a vow unto me, now arise and get thee from the land and return unto the land of thy kindred. Now this is the angel speaking as the Most High to Jacob, right? Let's look at it, Genesis 28. This is where it's happening. We'll drop down to verse 20. You read the whole thing on your own time. And Jacob vowed and vowed, saying, if God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put upon. So he vowed and vowed to God, right? But the angel in verse 31 was speaking as he was speaking. So we see that. Let's keep going. Exodus 3. A lot of us might ain't seen this. Exodus 3, verse 2. And the angel of the Most High appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush. Now, who was in the bush then? The who? Who was in the bush? The messenger. All right? And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses says, I now will turn aside and see this great sight, while the bush is not burnt. And Yahuwah saw that he turned aside to see. God did what? But who was speaking? In the bush. We saying it. It said, God called out to him in the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here I am. So who was in the midst of the bush? But who called to him? Out of who? Out of the angel. We're seeing that. So make it all the way clear. Genesis 22. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. That's when Abraham was going to sacrifice his son. And the angel of Yahuwah called unto him out of where? Who called to him out of heaven? And said, Abraham, Abraham. He said, here I am. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest who? Seeing that thou was withheld thy son from. Wait a minute. He said, the angel of the Lord, the messenger called into him and told him not to do it. Then he said, the angel said, I know you fear God, because you didn't hold your son from me. But they speaking as the oracles of the Most High. We get it. I'm going to run through this. Psalms 103. Bless Yahuwah, his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments or his biddings, and hearken into the voice of his what? Word. All right, let's keep on. So, we see that the Malachim can be considered what on earth? God. Let's see what Yahushua said. John 10 and 34. I'm laying the foundation. Yahuwah answered and said to them, is it not written in your law that ye are what? Ye are what? Not like 5%.
That's right. Come on.
Gods of the earth, 10%. The highs and the lows is above, so below. What's up, God? Peace, God. Or, well, you got Kemet that say the woman is God. That's what the Kemet say. That the woman is God. All right. What did he mean by it says that ye are gods? With his what? It's in his image. So if we came from the Most High, we have to bear his what? His spirit, his DNA. All right, let's keep going. All right, so let's break this word down. All right, Elohim, and you got your, we're going into the Hebrew. The modern way to say it, Elohim, the ancient way to say it, Elohim. All right? So when you got your El, that's your Aleph. That means leader or strength or power. The Lo, which is your Lamed, which you got shepherd, teacher, protection of God. That's what that means. The Hit in the Him is your Hey, which you got behold, look, or revelation. The Yim and the Yit, which is your Yod, which is mean work, action, or worship. The Mem, because we know, let me slow this down. Every letter in Hebrew has a definition behind it. So we ain't just saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P. We have, because they built their alphabet based off what they see, because we're visual learners. All right? So you have your Yod, which means work of action, and your Mem, which can represent water or represent blood. But what does water and blood do in you? It does what? Sustains you. So now let's put this together and see what it means to be an Elohim or a God. Lay the foundation first. So the ancient Hebrew, it says the leader that teaches or guides and reveals through the work or worship that which does what? So that's what it means for us to be a God in the earth. You have been commissioned to be a leader that teaches, not only teach, but you guide people. And you reveal what? What is our worship?
Praise.
Well, how do we get our lifestyle?
Through the word. Reading.
You read it. Through the Torah. Through the books. So it's up to us to reveal to mankind the worship that will give life to sustain. So now, as a little Elohim, as a revealer of the worship system that gives life, now you have been committed with his oracles. That's your purpose. That's your purpose. Now you speak as he speaks. In the place of him in earth. Because what? He gave you what? Dominion over the work of his what? I'm trying to elevate your thinking about yourself, because when these mantles fall, you can't be afraid to speak what he's saying speak. You can't be looking at you and saying, I ain't worthy, when he put you in position. You don't know what he might have you speak, that he's going to back up what you're saying. So get out of being comfortable being you. No. You just ain't going to come in here and sit down. Right. You ain't just going to sing. You ain't just going to clap your hands. Right. You ain't just going to wash the dough. You ain't just going to play the keyboard, the drums. Because you are God, which can't be limited. So why do you limit yourself based off of fears and what other people are going to think about you? When we came from a lineage of people that didn't care, spoke what was given to them, no matter the consequences. But we don't want to hurt nobody. I better not say nothing about Barack Obama. My mama won't get mad at me. I better not get up and not pledge my allegiance to that flag. My teacher gonna say something. So elevate your thinking and understand that everywhere you go, you have been committed with the oracles to give and guide people and show them that which sustains what? Life. You've been commissioned to do that. Do you know some people are dying because of your fear? That's how I want to say it. Because you scared to say what he put inside of you to say. I don't care if you just walked in a grocery store and something to quicken in your spirit to say something, but now you're afraid to say it. And then they go down the road of life being unsustained and was waiting on the moment to hear your voice. Because some people ain't called to my voice, some people call to yours.
That's right.
And the only way they're going to reach Yahuwah is through you being a what? An oracle. But if we so committed and worry about ourselves and woe is me and I'm going through problems and situations and circumstances and not realizing that our deliverance is in perseverance. You get where you don't care. I ain't that concerned about me that I can't get the work done. Oh no! I gotta talk like that to wake y'all up. I ain't that concerned about my situation that I can't get his work done. That every time I come to him in prayer, I'm telling him about my problems, which he already knew. And I'm crying about something that is going to take process to get me through. Your crying ain't going to move the Most High. I don't care how much you cry, how much you hurt, how much is on you. But some stuff you just got to go through. Now don't get me wrong. He still cares for you. He still loves you. He will wrap his arm around you and say, baby, you gonna make it. But he don't want that to be the basis of your relationship. Ain't nothing wrong with crying now, because I cry. Because crying is a spirit, it's a spiritual thing. We keep thinking stuff is natural. Sometimes you got to get released through crying. That's why men, we hard now. That's the thing that makes me cry the most. I'll be like, I can hear. You won't cry. Leave me alone, spirit. But it's a spiritual release. It's a spiritual thing that's going on. That's why when you're going through something, or you have to go through, or as somebody there, you got to go through a grieving process. Because that's spiritual. It's a spiritual release. All right. Y'all with me? All right, so we're finna move. So, we have been say, I have been given, the opportunity to be a God. That don't even sound right, people. Get your confidence up. Yeah. I have been given the opportunity to be a God. So what does a God sound like when he ministers? What does a God sound like when he sings? What does a God sound like when he prays? What does a God sound like when she wails? Because you're not just having an outburst. That's why it's important to yell the Most High name. Because you are shaking the atmosphere and giving his attention. Because we got a certain... All right, we won't get this. All right, so what's the purpose of Israel? Jeremiah 13:11, I got the roll. I made y'all. Everybody need an Israel in here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, lift your hands if you know you're Israel.
Yes.
I ain't got no unbelievers in here, so we all right. You got tangled up this. Jeremiah 13:11. I made the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Judah to do what?
Cling to me.
That means he ain't clinging to everybody. No, he don't care about what nobody else. We don't what nobody else think. We don't want to cares. Over here, right in this scripture says you don't want to have known of all the things with others. You are the apple of my eye. Let me tell you how we do. But what about all the other apples? There you go, eyes. Don't you love them? That raised us. Now that's not saying he don't love other people, but we do it all the time. I bet your other clothes in the closet mad at you today. You chose them above all other clothes in your closet to be special to you. Some of you got special outfits on that you love above all other outfits. I like this little shirt right here. I wear it every now and then. At least twice a month. But we charge the Most High. Foolish, some of y'all like different hairdos than the one you had last month. That hairdo last month don't get mad if you do it. Or you don't care.
That's right.
made the whole house of Judah and whole house of Israel to do what? Cling to me, declares Yahuwah. That they might be for me. They might be for who? I want y'all to get this. They might be for who? For who? For who? A people and a name and a praise and a glory.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. These people are going to be a name for me. I'm going to put my name upon them, and my name goes to what? The ends of the earth. So these people going to go to the ends of the earth. Not only that, they're going to be a people of praise. They are we don't just give him praise, we are his praise. So how in the world we sitting down on him if we his praise? You two, don't put no more posts in there about we look like the church. I'm talking to all y'all now. Facebook, I don't care. Find you another channel. Because them people ain't bring the church to us. We brought praise to the church because it was what? Inside of us. Before we got there, what they was doing? Y'all see how y'all talk back to me when I'm preaching? Because we are spiritual people. That's right. So when words, he said, what the spirit that quickens, right? So when words hit your spirit or our spirit, it does what? It quickens us, or we identify with us, because we have words of covenant in our DNA. So something from the inside burns us up that we got to say, man, you teaching that? Oh yeah, hallelujah. We got to do something. I don't care, you put me anywhere and I can't sit down. Especially when another Israelite is teaching. Because what? It's in our spirit to be a what? A praise. That's why everything in us is a what? Let me show you how you see it. Everything about you is a praise, even though you was taught that everything about you is bad. You got all the other nations trying to do what? Your hairdo. But your hairdo is what? A praise.
Dance like you.
You got all the other nations trying to dance. I can't do that with my Billy walking. I like got to hit it last time I tried to do that. Probably like, we don't do that. But everybody else trying to do what? What you do. They trying to get injection in their lips, and they told you your lips are soup coolers, but they won't know. Because what? Your lips is a praise. Wow. Your skin is a praise in the earth. We look at praises. You are a praise. So they taught you that your skin is bad and it's dark and it's ugly. So they keep trying to go in the sauna and get what? Because your skin is a praise. Yeah. Your woolly hair. Said it with that too. Your woolly hair is a what? Praise. And it's spiritual. I'm going to get a whole nother lesson. Let me get it. Psalms 106, 7, 8. Our fathers, when they were in Egypt, did not consider your wondrous works, but rebelled it by the sea and the Red Sea. Yet saved them for his what? For his what? That he might what? No. So that's why we haven't died as a nation. When you look at all we've been through just in this nation for 400 years, our descendants should still be alive. That's right. But for his name's sake, we can't die. And we got a covenant on the inside. All right, let's keep going. Because I got to move. What that's it? 1 Peter 4 and 11. If any man speak, let him speak as what? Let him speak as what? Let him speak as the Most High, full of his word. And if any man minister, let him do it with the ability that the Most High have given him. Don't try to be somebody else. That's right. Be you. That Elohim and all things may be glorified through Yahushua HaMashiach, to whom praise and dominion forever and ever. All right, let's get it. Now let's look at what an oracle is, and then we're going to move. In And the Old Testament used in every case except in 2 Samuel 16 and 23, it denotes that most of holy places. Now, when you look in the scripture in 1 Kings 6 and 5, 1 Kings 6, 19, 23, and 8 and 6, you will see that the oracles was almost like in the place of the most holy of holy, where the words of the Most High or the commandments were here, right? And also, it was actually a place, the innermost chamber, the innermost being. So it almost became a word, because it was from a Hebrew idiom perspective, it was the words of the Most High. So when they would go in there, they would be in there with the words of the Most High. This is why he's saying, if any man speak, let him speak as a what? Oracle. This is that place in where you be in prayer, where he began to what? Shower down his presence on you, and you begin to speak. He began to speak to you. In an innermost place. We start out with the outer courts, but we just giving them glory, and we get to singing songs to him. And then we get into the inner courts when we begin to return his word back to him, reading the Psalms and declaring the Psalms. But when you get into that the most holy of holies, when his presence is there, and you feel his presence, and he begins to speak to your spirit, that's where the oracles are here. And I believe that's where we at. And that's where we at as a ministry. We are in what the innermost chamber. That's why you can come around this ministry and enter into the presence of the Most High. You come right into this place and go straight into his presence. Because we're trying to keep it housed, what? With his presence. With his oracles that make it easy to speak as him. You got that? All right, let's roll. So Exodus 7, right? To speak as oracles, I just said all that. Exodus 7. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, I have made thee a what? Unto who? I have made thee a what? Unto who? Who said that? The Most High. Now, watch this. I'm trying to get your level of thinking up. Because before we leave this nation, they're going to know who we are. It ain't going to be, I love the movie that, and the documentary that we getting together that we're going to get done. But for some people, that ain't going to be enough. Even though every aspect of whatever you can question you can have going to be on there. But that ain't going to be enough. The Most High said he made Moshe a God to Pharaoh. And he's going to do the same with us in this nation. He's going to do the same with us in this nation. That we're going to be able to do things that are supernatural. He said those that know their Elohim going to be what? Strong and do what? Don't get used to seeing me where I'm at. Because you're going to look again and I'm elevated. You're going to look again and I'm elevated some more. So I'm not going to get used to seeing y'all in the place that you are now. Because before we leave this land, they're going to know that we are the children of the Most High. They're going to experience. Because right now it seems like we ain't got no power. Right now it seems like we can just be killed at the drop of a hat. But he's getting the stage set to unlock. That's why I said, knowing who you are ain't the stopping point. Right. Don't just get happy and say, I'm Israel, if it don't unlock a power within you. It's going to unlock something in you. You should see and start becoming what you see on the paper. Yeah. You should see and become what you see in this book, unless you think it's just fairy tale. Yeah, you think Joshua ain't really stopped the sun, do you? You don't think Elijah really went up in a chariot, do you? You don't think Moses took a rod and commanded a sea and it split. You don't think Elijah did the same thing, took his mantle off and hit the water and they crossed over Jordan. And then Elisha took the same mantle and hit the water again. Y'all, we got to get out of this thing being a fairy tale, because it ain't going to, listen to what I'm going to say. It ain't going to be no natural way that we get out of this captivity. Oh, I said something there. It ain't going to be just no natural way. The supernatural has to come to bring the fear back of this nation, back of the children of Israel, Elohim, or God. So he has sake, he can't leave us in this condition.
Hallelujah.
And for his name's sake, he can't leave us powerless. That's why the children of Israel, before the first Exodus, they had to know who they was and who the Most High was before he delivered them. He can't deliver a people that don't know their identity. All right, let's roll. So we are also the prophecies of Yah, walking with a prophetic mantle. And I'm going to show you that. We have his oracles, but we also are prophecy. We are signs. Zechariah 3. When I said last week that we don't just, Yeshua ain't just coming in the volume of the book, but who else coming in the volume of the book? Why is that? Why are we coming in the volume of the book also? Because we made in his image. And that book was written of who? So every aspect of the book you have who in it? And our what? Deliverance. So everything that the prophets echo, even what Yahushua echoed, was about his people. This is why we come in the volume of the book, not only that, but we are prophetic signs. This is why you have to look at us to see what the Most High time clock is. We are signs of things to come. Do you know how important you are to the Most High? Because without you, there's no signs of his return. There's no signs of his redemption without you waking up. This is why the nations are going crazy now, that they know you're a prophetic sign. Y'all don't believe that? All y'all want to do is go to work, eat some groceries, come to assembly, Yahuwah, Shabbat, arise, and go home. Every now and then you get one of these. And that's enough. That's enough. I go and I'm going through some things, some problems and situations. I'll come get one of these, I'll fall out for a little while, and I get up. And then that's the end. It said, just like they said on Black Panther, they said that about you. Is this your king? Is this your king? That's what the nations are saying. Is this your people? Such a weak-minded people that don't know they are and they gonna be delivered? They gonna bring destruction here? These are the people you chose? Is this your king? Yeah. He said it on stage. What is that?
They're fighting me right.
Because I want to elevate something inside of you to know that you're way greater than what you think you are. Your level of elevation has to be superior.
Hallelujah.
Zechariah 3. Hear, O Joshua, O high priest. Watch what he's going to say. You and your brethren who sit before you, for they are what? Of what? That I will surely bring my servant, which is the branch. See, y'all somewhere else. Come on back over here. Read, let me show you what it says in another translation. Listen to me, O Joshua, high priest. You and all the other priests. Who are the priests of the earth? You and all the other priests. You are symbols of things to come. Soon I'm going to bring my servant, the branch. Who is the branch? The Messiah. So you are evidence that he's coming. You don't just have prophecy, you are prophecy. Prophecy walking. And your awakening will usher in the kingdom of the Most High. He's dependent in seeing you as signs and symbols to the earth. That all the earth is looking at your awakening and looking at your day, knowing that it's something that's happening. Notice that when you begin to wake up, the earth starts shifting. Earthquakes start happening everywhere. Volcanoes start erupting. Nations start fighting against nations. Nationalities against nationalities. All these things start happening at what? At your sign of his coming. We see that. Isaiah 8:18. Here I am, the children of Yahuwah has given me to be what? Signs and what? Now watch this. You have to pay attention to visions and dreams. Prophetically. Show you something. When you came into this covenant, you got to get out of yourself. When you have a dream about you, don't think it's you, about you, all the time first. When you understand that you're a sign and a symbol, so sometimes he can give a dream where you're in it, that you represent the nation. And prophetically, he's trying to say something to the nation by giving you a dream about yourself. But we've been branded and taught to be so selfish-minded that we think everything is about us, when he's trying to give you a sign to show the nation of something which is to come. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So begin in your prayer to write these things down and understand that I am a sign and symbol of the Most High. So he's going to speak in you through the nation. Is this happening? Yes, sir. Watch this. I'll show you this in action. Isaiah 20. Verse 1. Isaiah 20 and 1. Watch it. In the year of the general set the Sargon, king of Assyria, came to Ashar and fought against it and captured it. At that time, Yahuwah had spoken through Isaiah and the son of Amos. Go and take off the sackcloth from your waist. Now, the Most High is giving him instruction. Right? This hour, the Most High may tell you to do something crazy. Listen, for you are a sign. He's going to lift you up for all men to see. Sometimes what you're going through is because you're a sign. Do you not know that he trusts you enough to give you trouble that everybody else can see? And we think it's embarrassing. But he said, no, I just lifted you up. It might look embarrassing now, but you're a sign and a symbol that all the earth can look at how you went through it and overcame. I trust you enough to put this on you. This ain't about you, but it's about how many people can be delivered by your obedience. But if you don't understand you're a sign, you'll get caught up just in yourself. We seeing that? And the Most High do that now. He'll drop something on you. Be like, hey, I just came out something now. Come on, man. He'll die. But he said what? No, he said you're a sign. Because sometimes he can be looking at sis right here, thinking, how can I get to her? And he don't want to just stop to her and say, how can I get her? Because I want to know how to get to her. Then I'm going to have her to see how I'm going to get to him. And he got a chain of events going on in all our lives. That's why it's important to not forsake what the assembly of ourselves coming together. Because sometimes in our testimony with each other, we can get deliverance to know we ain't going through this by ourselves.
Right.
And then in your, because sometimes you can just came out of something that somebody else going to go through. And this is why you can't give up. You can't throw up in the towel. Can't throw the towel in. Because if you throw it in, then he won't get it, she won't get it, she won't get it, and they'll come all the way back to you. If you threw up in the towel. Now the chain of events. Are we seeing that? Yes, sir. All right, so watch it. Go take off the sackcloth from your waist and remove the sandals from your feet. So the Most High telling Isaiah this because he'll find. This he did, walk in what? And what? So Isaiah, no, I didn't naked. Barefoot. Is this you or Hasatan? That might be Hasatan speaking right there. And that's what we gonna think. Don't come in here naked. Most High told you that. Come back to the God. You ain't Isaiah. Watch it. Take off your sackcloth from your waist and remove your sandals from your feet. And he did walk in naked and barefoot. Then Yahuwah said, just as my servant I gone naked for 3 years. As who you did for 3 years? I ain't reading that. Yahuwah. I'm like, boy, I ain't going back out there now. That's spiritual, ain't it? They done got it. They done got it. 3 years. And say what? And portent against who? So shall the king of Assyria be led away captive from Egypt, and exiles from Ethiopia, young and old, naked and barefoot, with their buttocks uncovered, the shame of what? So in our bloodline, there were signs and symbols. He had them walk that out to let them know that another nation was going to take over. That's what we headed to, y'all. That's why our confidence got to get up. Because we're going to be declared, okay, if y'all don't do this, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. This nation here comes. The Most High that showed me this. All right, keep on. Ezekiel 12, verse 1. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man, you live in the midst of a rebellious house, and they have eyes to see, but they do not see, and ears to hear, but they do not hear. They are such a rebellious house. Now, son of man, during the day while they watch, pack a bag for exile, and again they will watch and go into exile from your place to another place. Perhaps they will see that they are a rebellious house. During the day while they watch, bring out your bag and exile bag. And in the evening again, they will watch and go out. Ain't that something? There's always somebody watching you. Hey man, will you leave me alone? Hey, I ain't thinking about you. But you're watching for what? Go watch somebody else. Do your own thing. Quit watching me. I ain't watching you. During the day while they watch, bring out your bag and that's our bag. And even again, they watch. That's what you know it's us. Because we so doggone know. Go out and send it to all the exiles. While they watch, dig a hole through the wall and go out through it. While they watch, shoulder your load and go out in darkness. Cover your face so they cannot see the land, for I am making you a what? I did just as I was commanded. During the day I did all that. And in the morning the word came unto me, son of man, did not the house of Israel say to the rebels, what are you doing? Tell me this, says Yahuwah, the load is the prince in Jerusalem, the whole house is within. Say that I am a sign for you, just as I have done, so shall it be done. Into exile and captive they shall go. Now, you can really see even the mercy of the Most High, but the Most High trying to tell them through the prophets what's going to happen. All they had to do was repent. But they wouldn't. But y'all, this is how He's going to be using us as His oracles, as signs and symbols of the Most High. All right, let's keep on. Now, Most High gave me a dream. Y'all know, that's a miracle. Y'all don't dream much. I like to sleep when I'm sleeping. Because I gave me a dream, and I'll tell it to boys. I had just came from Taboy's and cut me up real good. Why the cussing happen? So I get down. Plug. See a lot of brothers' heads in here. Plug. The brother just cussed out, man. So in the dream, I came from him, and you know, he put that little he got this little thing where he, like, all right, my fella's trying to leave me. Right up in him.
That Beijing.
They trying to go somewhere. And he got this little stuff he kind of just put in there, and he just, you know, put it in and wind the thing up. I'll be looking like, you know, that it came back a little bit. Till I take a shower. So I'm starting taking my shower before I get the cut. So everything can stay fresh. If it's going, I can be going. So in the dream, it is all good. In the dream, so I took the shower. I got out the shower and I expected it. And then I looked in the mirror and my beard began to just fall off. Now, anybody that know me know I have a hard time growing. My beard be like, we ain't growing. Like I get jealous of somebody like Andrew, and his beard is just like, on fleek. You know what I'm saying? It's dying, It's going on for years, and it's, So I cherish what I got. Try to hold on to it. And man, it began to fall out, and I was like, what in the world going on? Why my beard falling out? So I began to look that up. I looked at the scripture. And this is why I had just read over these scriptures now. And went to sleep, most I gave me that. All right, so in the scriptures, the plucking of your beard is a sign of shame. Even when I looked it up, they said beard coming out or coming from you in a dream could mean you're about to be shamed or shame is coming. So I looked at Isaiah 50:6. It said, I offer my back to those that beat me and my cheeks to those, and I poured out my beard and I did not hide my face from mocking and from spitting. That's verse 9 and 3. When I heard this, I tore my tunic and cloak, pulled my hair from my head and my beard, I sat down in a pause. Again, shame. Ezekiel 5:1. Now, son of man, take a sharp sword and use a barber's razor to shave your head and your beard. Then take the scales and divide them up with the hair. He was showing them how the nation of Israel was going to go into captivity. Now, so the Most High showed me that. So I'm like, man. So I'm doing the inventory now. I said, Most High, you got to show me, okay, what could I get shamed for? Like, what could I have done that I don't want nobody to know about? I got to look at it. I said, if I'm hiding anything, I'm like, I ain't hiding nothing. I said, so what would be my shame? The Most High told me this, what I told y'all. He said, you looking at yourself, thinking this dream is about you. So then I give you for a sign, then I give you for a symbol. Get your mind off you and listen at what I'm going to show you. And they began to show me. Now, I don't know when this or what's going to happen. But he showed me, he said, that's a deception that's going to happen. He said, the falling of the beard, you represent what's going to happen to the nation of America. He said, it's a public shaming that's going to come. He said, it's going to look like everything is cleared up and everything is good. So, you know, when you had the cut, it looked like it was real good. And all of a sudden, that facade washed off. And shame coming, you was what laid bare. So Most High was showing me that that's what's going to happen. So I use you as a sign to show what I'm going to do to this nation and the shame that I'm going to bring. So something is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to, we'll talk about that. Okay. So don't get so worked up about things you hear in the news, let me say it like that. And propaganda about even the stuff you hear with Iran and all those types of things. Because the news ain't gonna never tell you the truth. It's always gonna be propaganda and what they're trying to spin. Now they're trying to spin everything with their attacks that Iran did this and Iran did that. When you really look into this, you'll see what this is about. It's the only thing I'm gonna say on camera. We'll talk about it. But it's a shaming that's coming, and we're going to be able to see that, right? All right, now let's switch, and we're going to move. Anybody else been feeling anything like that before I move on, as far as what they believe and what they sense is going to happen? The Most High give anybody else anything. Don't be afraid to say something. We ain't going to put you on camera. Go ahead, sis.
It was on the 5th of January, 5:30 a.m. and I woke up and I heard it say, all will know me by demonstration and power.
Hallelujah. That's what we had. That's even what I'm teaching in this message. Everybody gonna know him by demonstration and power. And I don't know if he's gonna use us to shame America, but it will be shamed. Hallelujah. Anybody else before we move on? Go ahead.
About 2 weeks ago, I was telling my wife that I had a dream, that in my dream, I woke up from the dream, but I was still dreaming. And I came to you and told you that things were not going to change because people didn't want to see what's going to happen. But something was going to be uncovered. And it just hit me when you said it.
Wow. Wow, that's confirmation. Me and him ain't talking, but that's confirmation. Somebody else has something. You put your hand out and say something.
Come on, sis. The thing I had this morning, it came to me as they're getting ready and preparing over there, the temple, and as they're getting ready and preparing over there, the temple and setting order and the Levites and everything, he's doing the same. The Most High is doing.
That's right.
In us.
That's right.
Yeah. He's lining us right while they're over there doing what they're doing. He's setting forth the truth for us to come through and do the true work.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's right. We are his signs. So just like they setting up for their false, whatever they got going on, he getting the true people ready. Anybody else got anything? Anything that they want to add or just sing today? All right, we're going to keep moving. All right, so watch this. I really need y'all to pay attention. Where we finna go now? We see that we the oracles. Say, I'm the oracle. I'm the sign.
I'm the sign.
Y'all believe that?
Yep.
No, not talking about do you really believe
Yep.
you're the sign? I'm telling you, your eyes and ears from this message gonna be activated. Most High will start giving y'all dreams and visions and words of confirmation. Begin to look for it, because it's gonna be what we need. Y'all watch what I'm telling you, and I ain't just saying that. Because you're in this atmosphere, there's something in you unlocking. All right, watch this. John 4, I gotta run. You worship what you know now. We worship what we worship. For salvation is what? Now, when you look that word is up, side notes, it means originating. Verse 23, but the hour coming and now is when the true worshiper shall worship the Father. And what?
The Spirit and in truth.
And what?
The Spirit and in truth.
And what?
Spirit and in truth.
For the Father seeketh what?
Such to worship him.
So it ain't just honoring the feast days where you honor the Father. We know the feast days is the truth, but if your life ain't saying nothing, you just honoring the truth, him in truth, but not spirit.
Yes, sir.
For Yah is a what?
Spirit.
And they that worship him must worship him in what?
Spirit and in truth.
Yah is a what?
Spirit.
We're going to see what a spirit is. John 6 and 63. The spirit gives life, and the flesh counts for nothing. The words that I have spoken to you, they are what?
Spirit and life.
Watch this. Words are spirit, and spirits are words. One thing about a spirit can be invisible to the natural, but they have a visible manifestation.
All right.
I can't draw you a picture of hate, but you can walk in a room and feel the presence of hate. I can draw you a picture of love. I can do a heart, but I can't draw you a picture of love. But you can feel what love's presence when it's what? In a room. Something that you can't trace. We can't trace the Most High. He's invisible, but he has a visible what? Manifestation. The words that I'm speaking to you now let you know that words are spirit. I can speak things to your spirit that make you upset, that make you glad. Some can hit you and provoke some out of you. You can't see what's coming out of my mouth, but when it hits your spirit, it what? Manifests on you. Because it's an invisible word that is coming into your spirit. Now watch this. That's why death and life is in what? So our words can bring life, or our words can bring what? It's empowered in our power of what we're saying. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with Elohim. And the Word was Elohim. And the same in the beginning was God. And all things were made by him, without anything made. In him was life, and life was the light of men. Then that same Word became what? So this whole book of the Torah became embodied in us. The Word became what? It became ours. Let's read Jeremiah 1. Get somewhere, pay attention. Jeremiah 1. I want you to understand that you ain't nothing but a word that's housed in a spirit. Jeremiah chapter 1. These are the words of Jeremiah, the son of my Bible reading Hebrew. I can't say some of these words. Kalek Yahu. Priests were in Anathar, and the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of Yahuwah came in. And the day of Isaiah, son of Ammon, sovereign of Yehuda, in the 13th year of his reign. And it came in the day of Jerusalem, the son of Isaiah, sovereign of Yehuda, until the end of the 11th year. Isaiah, sovereign of Judah, until the exile of Jerusalem in the 5th month. Somebody start reading that for me. Verse 4.
Then the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So he said, before I formed you, I did what? But notice he said the word came to him. The word came to him. But he said, before I formed you, I knew you. Do you not know that it's something spiritual? That we can be asleep all these years and listen to everybody else teach the word. And then when we wake up, we bring revelations that the earth ain't never seen. Ain't that amazing? We couldn't even hardly read 400 years ago, but now we able to bring revelations that they've been trying to break open for years. Why is that? Because he put a word in us, waiting on us to wake up. We had his words of the covenant already stored in our spirit. That when we wake up, that now nothing but a house of revelation was going to be coming. Waiting on us. This is why we can understand things like that. Because it's been a word inside of us. He said, before you was born, I already put that in you, waiting on your awakening. When you wake up, I'm going to shower you with revelations. But then when you read down in Jeremiah, he said, I watch over my what? Word. I watch over my what? Word. My word to do what? So if he watches over his word, that means that you are his word and he watches over you. That you got the what? The words of the covenant inside of your DNA. Notice that in Deuteronomy 29:10, he said this. He said, not with you only do I make this covenant, but I make this covenant with those that are here and those that are not what? So when in a blood covenant, when he makes a covenant with us, he makes a covenant with everybody what? Inside of us. So we came into covenant all them centuries ago when Moses and all our fathers came into covenant, right? So we have what? The words of the covenant hidden in our genetic code. It's in our DNA. That's why they want you dead. Because it's been written, what? Inside of you. Before you was born, because what? You ain't nothing but a word that he's watching to what? To perform this thing. Because he's looking, I got to watch over because these are the only people I put a covenant with. And I put it inside their DNA because it's throughout their generation. So I began to watch over my word to perform my word. This is why we got scriptures that say what I hid what? His word into my heart that I would do not what? So when I hear his word, I become his word. And that word is what keeps me what? Alive. Because we come from an incorruptible seed. Y'all understanding this? Is I'm doing too much? Isaiah 55:11. So shall who word? You can see this different. So shall what? My word. So shall what? Who is his word? So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me empty, but it shall accomplish that which pleased, and it shall achieve that which in. This is why Paul could look at it and say, I have did what? Finished my course, because what? I have became his word, and I came forth out of his mouth. So we are his word that goes forth because we are his covenant. Everybody understanding that? Let's keep on. We'll finish up. Romans 9:12. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the other. And it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Elohim? For he said unto Moses, I will have mercy upon whom I will have mercy upon, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion on. So then is it not of him that willeth, or of him that runneth, but God that showeth what? For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for at the same time this purpose have I raised thee up, that I have showed my power in thee, that thy name might be declared throughout the earth. Therefore have he mercy upon who he will have mercy upon, and he will harden who he harden. Thou shalt say unto me, why do you find fault? For who have resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that replies against God? Shall the thing that is formed say to that formed it, why hast thou formed me thus? Hast thou the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another vessel unto dishonor? What if God wanted to show his wrath to make his power known and do it long suffering, the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory, the vessels of mercy, which he hath prepared unto our glory. Notice that we are all prophetic words. He got vessels that have been fitted for destruction, which was what? Nations that was coming against us. Assyria was nothing but a word. Babylon was nothing but a word. The Greeks was nothing but a word. The Romans was nothing but a word. They had to fulfill what was spoken. We are all words. How did they have to fulfill it? Because he said, when you break my covenant, I'm going to send what? Another nation that's going to come and take you into what? So we are all performing his word. Just as he spoke about them, he spoke the same thing about us. That when we're in the land of our captivity, and when we come back in with all our heart, mind, and soul, then he what? We remember the covenant and do what? Heal our land. Yeah. So you got vessels for destruction against vessels of mercy that has been prepared unto his glory. Nothing but manifested word that's been going out and being fulfilled. Everybody say, everybody. Don't fulfill prophecy. Everybody don't fulfill prophecy. Make sure you be the right word coming out of his mouth. I'm going to say that again. You ain't nothing but a word. Make sure you the right word coming out of his mouth. Because we all going to fulfill what he did declare before we got here. That makes sense? Yeah. Well, they just went back and said, no, that's a little DNA. To let us know real words. Your DNA has the genetic what? A genetic what? Word. A genetic word. We ain't nothing but a word. So in our DNA, there was a time for our awakening. Alright? Now read this, what I told you earlier, Deuteronomy 29 and verse 10. Y'all write this down because this is important. Deuteronomy 29 and 10. We all fulfilling prophecy. All of you standing therefore Yahuwah, your God, your chiefs, your tribes, your elders, your officers, even all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, your strangers, who is in the camps, from the one that chops down and gathers the firewood to the one that draws the water, so that you may enter into the covenant of Yahuwah, your Elohim, and into his open agreement which Yahuwah, your God, is making with you today, so that he may establish you a people, and that he may be your God, just as he spoke to you, as he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is not with you alone that I'm making this covenant and this oath, but to those future Israelites who are not here today with us, as well as those that stand here today with us in the presence of the Most High. So you are seeing that when they came into covenant, the covenant was written in our what? DNA. This is why when I was talking about words or stored in us, John 7 and 30, he that believeth in me, as the scripture said, out of his belly shall flow what? This is why these words been in you. You still got words in you, prophetic words, covenant words in you now, waiting on you to awaken to something else. Just because you're awakening to who you are, it ain't finished. You got more things that has to be awakened in you. that these words are going to flow out of you as what? Living water. All right, so we're going to hit this, and then we're going to be done. Joel 2. And you know that I'm in the midst of Israel, that I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, and none else might be a people to be never ashamed. And it shall come to pass afterward. Now watch this. I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams, of young men will see visions. Now there's another pouring out of his spirit that has to happen. That ain't completely happened yet. This is what Peter said, this is what was spoken of before time, but it's another level to that. Everybody say another level. Another level. Verse 29. First, I'm going to pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Verse 29. But upon my servants and my what? Those that have been faithful. This is something, these mantles that's coming next ain't coming to just anybody. You have to be faithful to the Most High, consecrated and walking in his covenant to get this next pouring out. This is why you can't let no attitude, no misunderstanding, no circumstance keep you from walking into this next thing. Because it's going to come to try you. All that's coming. Verse 29. And upon the servants and the handmaiden in what? Those days. So this talks about a different day. I will pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. And the sun shall be dark, be into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. For in the Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance. And Yahuwah has said in a remnant. So the next level that what's going to come on his servants and handmaids, he's going to show wonders in the heavens and in the earth through them. He's going to show wonders in the heavens and in the earth through his servants and through his handmaids. We're going to be doing miraculous things. How many of y'all believe that? Y'all don't believe it yet. I don't believe it. No, y'all don't believe it yet. No, y'all. You don't believe it yet. He can go out there and tell you right now to lift your hands to heaven and call out something. You'll be looking at it. These folks gonna look at me like I'm crazy. I'm in the middle of Broad Street. Where's the police over there? But that's the next level. That we're going to be showing wonders in the heavens and in the earth. Deuteronomy 32. This is what we need to be praying. I give ear, ye, O heavens. Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak. And earth, the words that my mouth will hear. Y'all, the next thing that we're going to be saying. Understand Yahuwah's name. We're going to be declaring these things, and the Most High is going to back up what we're saying. He's going to back up what we declare. Because I'm going to show you that the heavens and earth was there when you made the covenant, so it's responding to you. And then that'll be the last thing we show. Psalms 100, make a joyful what? Unto who? So is that saying? Y'all don't be scared. Ain't no trick question. I mean, yes or no, it could be. It could be. Make a joyful noise. This is why I say Israel is not a what? Quiet, sitting down on your behind people. He said make a joyful noise. What it is? A shout. Not this. Not yet. But a shout, a raise of a sign, a cry out, a giving of a what? So when we come together, we ain't supposed to be quiet. When we yell out Yahuwah's name, we will shake the heavens and the earth because they respond to our voice. Because they was there when we made the covenant. Moses says, I call what? Heaven and earth to witness this day. To shout a war cry, an alarm of battle, to sound a signal for a war or a march, to shout in triumph. These are the type of things that we're going to be doing together. You might be out there, and they might be coming at you. Yahuwah say, make a war cry. Yahuwah! Shalom. Yahuwah! Shalom. Yahuwah! And all of a sudden, stuff start happening in the atmosphere. They're going to first get scared because they're going to think you crazy. No, he crazy. I'll give y'all an example. I don't think I told y'all this.
No, you must not have.
Kind of sit down. Josh wanted me to teach last time. What these things that were dedication? I was like, no, man, I'm going to sit back. All right, so, man, I guess it just, that was that war cry in me. Like it was funny. All right, so I'm driving. And so I get to this light. Now, I was trying to do something on my phone failed, so I don't know if I might have been swerving or not. So I put my phone up, so I got to the light and I was putting my phone up. And this dude came by me, of the Caucasian persuasion. Heavyset dude, in a big old truck. Look down at me and say, you MF a son of a B. Now, when you call a man, there's something go through my body. Like, ooh. And he was like, you son of a B, you son of a B. And I looked at him like that. And then I went to go bring the window down. And I was like this, and then like what ran before my eyes is my family and then the ministry. And I had just had a dream that I was going to be on CNN for something to do. So all I could do is grab in that chair, and I was like this. And I was just staring at him like, bro. And I kept flashing in my head, well, if I get out of this truck, I was a kid. So my mom going like that. And I'm just looking at him. And then all of a sudden, he started getting nervous. And then all I could do, and I don't know why I did this, I just started doing it. That's right. Hallelujah. I don't know how to do it. I got to tell you again. That part was. And when I got to clapping, and my body was so tense that I wanted to snatch him all. I could taste it. Oh, I promise you, I was going to lay hands at my toes. Every part of me was tense. You know, all that. So then, like, when I started clapping, boy, he got so afraid of me. So, that's the part what I did wrong. So I drove, because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna try to do. So I ain't following him, but I got right in his lane and slowed all the way down. Because I wanted him to get out that truck. So I looked at him like that. But then he wouldn't get out the truck, he just stopped. And we sitting like this, everybody going by, and I'm like, because I was, and I was wrong, because I was trying to provoke him. Because he was going to catch all of my hands. I ain't fought nobody in a long time, but I was going to see if I still had it. And, but man, when I began, and I guess it was the patriots clapping through me. So when I got the clap, and I don't know where it came from, I guess it was 400 years! 400 years! It started quaking, and boy, he got so afraid, and he just tripping down and started doing it. So now every time Josh and Brother Angelo see me, they're like, if you want to give most of it, we just all we got to do is right. So I done gave y'all something to get on the side. But I felt bad. I had to sit down. I said, man, I shouldn't have done that part, so I wasn't going to get up teaching that day. Josh like, man, come on, man. There ain't no righteous indignation. All right, so now let me show you that. We're going to show you this, and that'll be the end. What time is it? It's what? It's 5:50? Okay, all right, we're gonna postpone this. Good Lord, I didn't know it was 5:50. Good Lord. Okay. We'll come back next week and finish this calling to heaven and to earth, because I want to show you that we do have power over the atmosphere. Oh yeah, I did. We'll go into that, show you how the earth and the heavens respond to us, and what it means to raise your right hand when you finna bring judgment down on somebody, calling heaven to earth to witness this. This is where we're going, y'all. I could have called heaven and earth on that man, and it would have been bad. I shouldn't have thought about it. If I would have just did that, because I'm telling you that heaven. But that flesh got it in. But I will show you how the earth and the heaven was called to witness your covenant, and it's waiting and responding to you. This is why our ancestors was always able to call some out of the heavens or bring fire down, because it responds, because the Most High is the one that is over the elements. But we'll get into that next week when we do the message of calling to heaven and the judgment on the nations. I don't like to keep y'all past going to 6 o'clock. So we'll shut that down. Hallelujah. Anybody was edified from what we talked about? Hallelujah. I want y'all to say, I'm the oracle, the sign, and the symbol of the covenant. And we'll do call to heaven and earth next week. Yeah. You're going to get a clap of your head. So anybody got any questions, comments, or concerns? Man, I ain't know this. Oh, well, we did all that praying and laying hands on people. So,
I'd like to try to see, he was talking about how